ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Y'all see him on the screen, man. He's the ladies' pet, the men's regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. And ladies, he always got something special for you in that Tupperware t-shirt exchange
I knew it was
program.
coming. I knew it was coming.
It's my man, LL Cool Tone. Step to the mic, my brother, and talk about this offense and how they played.
Ooh, that Lambeau pat, hitting kind of hard this morning. Woo!
Like the Lions, baby, like Isaiah Bugs.
Oh yeah, and that's and I wish y'all could see my screen right now. That's the top of my notes. We're not talking about defense right now, but they highlighted Bugs, and that was really dope. But we're not talking about offense. We're gonna talk about or we're not talking about defense. We're gonna talk about the offense from last night. That great big win, 20-16. Everybody was off, by the way. Everybody's score predictions just about. But I think not to what's the word here? I guess be cliche or sound like a lot of people are gonna sound. But this game was, and I'm gonna repeat what Coach Mike said. It's kind of exemplary of our season. You know what I'm saying? Season, didn't start out so well. We rebounded. This was a game of rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get much going in the run game. We never really got that loose in the run game, but we rebounded. We got, stuff started to loosen up a little bit. Our guys started to lean on their guys. Golf rebounded. He started off bad. He didn't start off so good. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of inaccurate at one stretch. I was tweeting him and saying, why ain't we running the ball here? But, he turned it around to come out with that huge fourth down conversion. I think it was the chart. It was a nice mix of Swaggy and Swift. Until Swift and him going out of the game. Hopefully he's okay, but however it's got to go. We got enough time. We see it next year.
He came back. He came back.
Okay, yeah. My apologies. I was drinking whiskey, so I was celebrating. Me and my cat was in here having a good old time. But Jonah Jackson had a good game. Penei Sewell had a good game. Even after Evan Brown got whooped on that early drive, he stood up. He had a way better game than what I was thinking. Oh, if this is what's going to happen after Brown, this is over with. But I guess he figured if this is what happens to me, this is over with too. He stood up. See you soon, J-Mo. You're still trying to figure out, how we going to see J-Mo. I was in my head the whole season trying to process, well, maybe these are the reps he'll get. Maybe he'll get some looks like Khalif Raymond. So far, they've been using him in a maybe like a trick play capacity, if you want to say it. We seen that last night. He got called back because Matt Nelson body slammed the dude. And I want to formally apologize because that, in the moment, I was like, punk ass Matt Nelson. But then they showed the replay, and that wasn't no punk ass nothing. He was really upset with whoever that was across from him, and he body slammed the hell out of him. So I take it back. My apologies, Matt Nelson. Of rebounds, missed a field goal, came back to hit a couple of them. They announced it. I don't know how many he finished with, but at one point he had 23 first down conversions from Golf to St. Brown on this year. On third down. So that was a nice stat to have. One thing that we got to see that kind of been calling out over the last week. I think I might even said it on last week's show. But the hard play fake with that deep crosser. I don't even understand how the hell wasn't that a touchdown. He caught the ball and bounced like before he's in the end. That's like in the Michigan game. My man, like, he bounced the ball, but when he has the ball, he's in the end zone. But whatever. Gave Swag the opportunity to tie Barry with 16 on that one. He finished with, I think, 17. Now he has the Lions' single season record. And, of course, again, that big props to everybody involved. I'm giving the most props to Jared Goff, of course, because anything in the world he could have did, but he did the right thing on that play. He threw it right to DJ Chark that stuck right in his hands on that huge fourth down pickup. That was I don't know if y'all watch Keyshawn and them in the morning, but they've been having Harry Douglas on. Mm-hmm. And he's like grapefruit. That's a grapefruit moment. That was a huge play call, huge play execution. Everybody involved. Great play. Big props to y'all. Not a lot of points, but it was a good offensive game, man. They're pulling out that great big old win on Lambeau Field, man. So of course, what do you guys think about all of that?
Offense got off to a slow start, like you said, man. But once they got into a rhythm, it was like, okay, now we're starting to see the Lions offense click. They finally got a little warm. Golf arms started to get a little more, looser. Them hands started probably getting a little warmer in them gloves, and he was starting to hit some passes, and I was liking that. That run game, they stepped up when they needed it for both, like you said, for both Swift and for Jamal Williams. And the one play that was kind of hidden in there was that long third down conversion from Justin Jackson. When they had him pinned, he went straight through both of them. So shout out to Coach Jones, because that's his dude right there. You know what I'm saying? That's his other play cousin besides Will Harris. So, but the offensive line played
Willie
great.
showed up last night too.
Yeah. Oh, Willie with the fumble recovery. The offensive line played great, man. They kept Goff clean. They only had that one sack, and those run lanes were huge. You getting in that second half, and we started imposing our will. And you looked at some of those lanes that Jamal Williams had when he was running straight the middle. Ooh, you could drive a Mack truck through them things, man. They was nice and solid, man. And one thing I saw, if you didn't see it, go back and look at the Lions travel photos for the game. The offensive lineman had Hank Fraley t-shirts on. I've said this from day one. That was one of the biggest things that the Lions could do, was bring him back last season. Mm-hmm. They brought him back, and that coaching staff brought him back. I was keep him. That was the guy I like. So no turnovers, kept the ball. We ain't give it away, no giveaways, and we played to win the game. Who in the holy hell throws a hook and ladder screen at the end of the game? Because that's what I'm talking about. Swift came back. He threw the ball he threw a hook and ladder screen. A hook and ladder screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a hook and ladder is usually down the field. They threw a hook and ladder screen to St. Brown and Swift. Come on, man. Herman Edwards, you played to win the game. And that's what they did last night. Loving what the offense did, mixing it up. A lot of people touched the ball. You look at this offense, man, it's so multifaceted. That's why I said, when we looked at the pregame, I said the Lions have an offense that's so multifaceted that they can keep the Green Bay Packers guessing, and they did that all game. So, Coach Jones, what you talk about, man? What you talk about this offense, man?
Man, that game was the whole 2022 season wrapped up in one. Basically, man, because if you look at it, we was just short in the first half, right? Goff was just off on a few passes. He was just coming up short, throwing them short and low, and
trying to fumble.
And the defense was they wasn't doing that bad, but they was giving away long plays in between the 20s. Mm-hmm. And it was like, okay, we didn't give it up, but we not quite there yet. And then the second half, man, we was pounding that rock. We hit a few plays in the past game, man, and we started pounding that rock, man, and we got to see, Jamal with the, all of that, man. We got to see that twice in the second half, man.
Two pumps.
yeah. So that was a beautiful thing, man. Goff started to warm up, man, and I think Goff started. I think he was a little bit nervous, or maybe he was trying to force the issue. Because when the game is that big, you feel like you got to do something. I don't think he was nervous because he's been in big games, so I wouldn't say that. But I'd say he was trying to force the issue a little bit. When you try to put passes like right on the money, like you trying too hard. I think that's what he was doing. But I'm glad he settled down, man, and we just took over the game, man. We punched him in the mouth. Like Dan Campbell said, we're gonna bite kneecaps, and we bit it. And we took a chunk off, and we bit it again, and we took a chunk off, and we kept biting, and the Lions biting on them cheese heads. That's the game. You know what I'm saying? Cheese don't beat lions.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a culmination of what Dan Campbell said. You talk about, it goes back to that Hard Knocks. We're the team that will tread water long enough to drown you. We're gonna stay afloat just enough to drown you, and that's what they did in that game last night. I need to hear what me and Coach Jones have to say about this. Tune into the full version of today's Let's Not Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Yo, home for Detroit Lions news and rumors.